Are you ready for the ultimate Zarpado compilation facts? Subscribe and let's start. The astronomer who discovered Pluto's moon named it Charon as a tribute to his wife Charlene. He completely missed that in Greek mythology, Charon is the ferryman who carries souls to the underworld, ruled by Pluto. Somali pirates run an investment system that works just like the stock market. Anyone can fund a crew, and if the hijacking succeeds, investors get a cut of the ransom. Wall Street. But with AK-47S, the Empire State Building has 102 floors, and it went up in just 1 year and 45 days. At one point, over 3,500 workers were on site at the same time. When it opened, it was the tallest building on Earth, a title it held all the way until 1970. The first time Japanese citizens ever heard their emperor's voice was when he announced Japan's surrender to end World War II. Before that moment, his voice was considered so sacred, it had never once been broadcast. Cat brains share something eerie with ours. The regions that generate and process emotion are strikingly similar. That's part of why your cat's social behavior can feel almost human. In 2009, a woman named Patricia DeMauro rolled dice at a casino 154 times in a row without losing her streak. The odds of that happening are about 1 in 1.5 billion. She didn't just get lucky, she broke every record in the game. The Beatles played over 2,000 hours in Hamburg, Germany, before they ever landed a record deal. During their most brutal stretch, they were performing 46 hours a week. By the time they hit America, they'd already clocked 10,000 hours on stage. Give a Monopoly player double the money at random, and studies show they start acting ruder and more aggressive toward everyone else at the table. Even fake money changes real behavior. The Statue of Liberty is actually breaking free from broken chains, and you can only see it from the air. Her right foot is stepping forward, and right beside it lies a shattered chain on the ground, symbolizing the end of slavery. A homeless man in Thailand found a wallet stuffed with cash and credit cards. Instead of keeping it, he walked it straight to the police. The owner was so moved by his honesty that he gave the man a job and a place to live and changed his entire life overnight. 47 million years ago, whales walked on land. Their ancestors were small, carnivorous mammals that looked more like deer, living along rivers and coastlines. Over time, their bodies turned hydrodynamic, and their nostrils slowly migrated to the top of their skulls. Russia's Tsar Bomba was the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated, but it was also the cleanest. Design tweaks blocked 97% of the radioactive fallout it would have produced in its original configuration. The first registered commercial trademark in the world belonged to Bass Beer in England, filed on January 1, 1876, the very day the UK's trademark law took effect. Its logo, a simple red triangle, still looks almost identical today. Space Invaders, released in 1978, was the first video game to save high scores, and that one feature turned it into an obsession. It got so popular in Japan that the country ran into an actual shortage of 100-yen coins. A giant squid's brain is shaped like a donut, and its esophagus runs straight through the hole in the middle. If it swallows something too big, the food can physically damage its brain. Every single meal is basically a gamble with its own nervous system. Ryan Reynolds personally funded, then leaked, the Deadpool test footage that went viral in 2014. He did it to force the studio's hand into greenlighting the movie. On a budget of $58 million, it went on to make over $780 million. The leaders of the Netherlands, the UK, France, and Italy all opposed German reunification in 1989. Italy's prime minister even said he loved Germany so much he was happy there were two of them. Spoiler, they reunified anyway. In 1945, a B-25 bomber crashed straight into the Empire State Building. The impact sheared the elevator cable, and the person riding inside survived because so much cable had piled up at the bottom of the shaft that it cushioned the fall. Hawaiian pizza wasn't invented in Hawaii. It was created in Canada in 1962 by a Greek immigrant named Sam Panopoulos. The name comes from the brand of canned pineapple he used, not the island. Aspartame was discovered completely by accident in 1965. Chemist James Schlatter was working on an ulcer drug when he absent-mindedly licked his finger and tasted something intensely sweet. It turned out to be roughly 200 times sweeter than sugar. Walt Disney had trash cans placed no more than 30 steps apart throughout Disneyland. That number wasn't random. He'd measured the average number of steps someone would walk while holding trash before giving up and dropping it on the ground. The Corona spy satellites, launched starting in 1959, used actual physical film rolls. Once a roll filled up, it was ejected in a capsule, parachuted back through the atmosphere, and had to be snagged mid-air by planes equipped with special hooks. In 1989, around 2 million people held hands to form a human chain, stretching about 370 miles across Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. It was a protest against Soviet occupation. 2 years later, all three countries were independent. A single tick bite can give you a permanent allergy to red meat. The tick injects a sugar that triggers your body to make antibodies, and those antibodies end up attacking proteins found in red meat. Once it happens, the allergy can last a lifetime. When Stalin suffered a heart attack, his own guards waited 12 hours before calling a doctor. They were terrified that if he recovered, he'd execute them for acting without orders. That delay likely sealed his fate. Explorer Michel Siffer spent 2 months completely isolated over 400 feet underground with zero sense of time. When he finally came out, his body clock had shifted to 48-hour cycles instead of 24. NASA later used his data to help plan the Apollo missions. Some flowers only bloom at night, evolving specifically to attract nocturnal pollinators like moths and bats. They tend to be pale, white, or soft yellow, and release intensely strong scents just so they can be found in total darkness. Jordan's King Abdullah bin Hussein appeared as an uncredited extra in a 1996 episode of Star Trek Voyager called Investigations. This was before he took the throne. He's probably the only sitting head of state with a cameo in a sci-fi series. Only 2 species in the history of life on Earth have ever domesticated other animals: humans and ants. Ants have spent millions of years farming certain aphids, protecting them and harvesting the sugary liquid they produce, basically running their own livestock operation. During the BBC's live broadcast of the Apollo moon landing, the music playing in the studio the whole time happened to be Pink Floyd. Nobody planned it, it just happened to be playing when history was being made. Billionaire Forrest Fenn hid a treasure chest somewhere in the Rocky Mountains worth between $1 and $3 million. To find it, you had to decode clues hidden in a poem he published. Thousands searched for years. Several people died trying, and it was finally found in 2020 in Wyoming by Jack Stoof. Garbage collectors in Ankara, Turkey, opened a public library using nothing but books in good condition that they found while collecting people's trash. Their collection grew to more than 6,000 books, free for any citizen to read. A woman in England has 4 color cones in her eyes instead of the usual 3. That extra cone lets her see roughly 99 million more colors than the rest of us. The condition is called tetrachromacy, and it's incredibly rare. The word nerd first showed up in 1950 in Dr. Seuss's book, If I Ran the Zoo, describing a made-up creature. Over time, people picked up the word to describe anyone obsessed with intellectual or tech-heavy interests. China's first aircraft carrier started out as a retired Ukrainian ship. In 1998, a Chinese businessman bought it, supposedly to turn it into a floating casino. Instead, the government eventually took it over and converted it into a full military aircraft carrier. Babies have 30,000 taste buds spread across their tongue, the sides of their mouth, and even the roof, compared to adults who only have 10,000 and only on the tongue. That's exactly why babies react so dramatically to new foods. The most decorated soldier from Texas in World War I was Marcelino Serna, an undocumented Mexican immigrant who volunteered to fight. His battlefield heroics earned him honors from the U.S. and several allied nations. He never got the recognition he deserved during his lifetime. There's a lake in Palau where jellyfish evolved to lose their stingers entirely. After the lake got cut off from the ocean, the jellyfish were left with zero predators. Today, they're completely harmless, and tourists swim among thousands of them. A South Korean woman named Cha Sa-soon set the world record for most attempts to pass a driving test. 960 attempts spread over several years, costing more than $15,000. She finally passed, and her story went viral worldwide. City birds have started lining their nests with cigarette butts. The burnt nicotine acts as a natural repellent against parasites and insects that would otherwise infest the nest. Turns out urban wildlife knows how to recycle our trash better than we do. In 2013, women in China started a trend wearing stockings covered in hyper-realistic fake leg hair. The idea was to avoid unwanted male attention in public. The look went viral and sparked a global conversation about how women deal with harassment. Phantom vibration syndrome is real. It's that moment you're convinced your phone is buzzing when it's completely still. A huge percentage of regular phone users experience it. Scientists think it's your nervous system adapting to constant stimulation. The oldest parliament still operating today is Iceland's Althing. Founded in the year 930, clan leaders originally met outdoors on the Thingvellir plain to make laws and settle disputes. Over 1,000 years later, it's still running, just indoors now, in Reykjavik. About 5,000 years ago, watermelons were pale green on the outside and bitter on the inside. Centuries of selective breeding made them sweeter, and along the way, the inside turned into the bright red we know today. Charles Martinet, the voice of Mario in Nintendo's games, also voiced the ancient dragon Paarthurnax in Skyrim. His voice was digitally lowered to sound massive and imposing. It's one of the best-kept secrets in video game voice acting. NASA's entire annual budget makes up less than 1% of the US federal budget. Yet when people are surveyed, most guess NASA gets over 20% of all government spending. An Oreo cookie is built on a ratio close to 71% cookie and 29% cream filling, a balance a lot of people consider absolutely perfect. Still, that's not an official number the brand has ever confirmed. 14 years before the Titanic sank, writer Morgan Robertson published a novel about a massive ship called the Titan that hits an iceberg in the North Atlantic without enough lifeboats. The parallels to the real disaster of 1912 are so exact, it feels like a prophecy. Mozart proposed to Marie Antoinette when they were both just kids. She turned him down. Mozart was only 6 years old at the time and simply adored her, promising, in that innocent way kids do, that he'd marry her when he grew up. Giant anteaters can eat more than 35,000 ants in a single day. They use a sticky tongue that stretches close to 2 feet long. They have no teeth at all, so they swallow their prey whole and grind it up in their stomach using sand and small stones. Dragon Ball Evolution, released in 2009, was such a disaster that screenwriter Ben Ramsey publicly apologized for it. Studies show the average woman will spend 17 years of her life dieting. That number comes from surveys across multiple countries, where many women start dieting as early as age 15 and keep cycling through it on and off for decades. The only people who showed up to carry Lee Harvey Oswald's casket, the man who assassinated President Kennedy, were newspaper reporters. Nobody else came. No family, no friends, nobody close enough to attend. Explorer Bear Grylls broke his back in 1996 after falling over 13,000 feet when his parachute failed. 2 years after an accident that nearly killed him, he stood on top of Mount Everest, becoming one of the youngest people ever to climb it. Giant rats from sub-Saharan Africa are trained to sniff out tuberculosis, the second deadliest infectious disease on the planet. They're not officially recognized as a diagnostic method. In any ant colony, only 2.6% of ants are actually working at any given time. 25% appear to never work at all, and 71% are inactive half the time. Turns out humans aren't the only ones with a productivity problem. Total global debt currently sits at $348 trillion, roughly 3 times the combined GDP of every country on Earth. In other words, humanity collectively owes 3 times more than it produces in an entire year. The word Turkey tells a wildly confusing geography story. In English, it's named after the country Turkey. In Portuguese, they call it Peru. In Turkish, it's Hindi, like India. In Dutch, it's Kalkon, after Calcutta. Its original name in Nahuatl, Guajolot. Old movie theaters across the U.S. used to have special rooms just for misbehaving kids. Parents could drop their troublemakers off there and enjoy the film in peace while the kids still watch from a separate viewing room. Surprisingly practical and surprisingly popular. In 2004, a tax office employee in Finland died right at his desk. Over 100 people worked in that same office, and not a single one noticed he was dead until 2 days later. People who play video games regularly are significantly more likely to experience lucid dreams, meaning they realize they're dreaming and can actually control what happens inside it. Researchers think all that practice making split-second decisions in-game carries over into the dream world. Roughly 1/3 of the entire world's population is infected with the bacteria that causes tuberculosis. But the vast majority never develop active symptoms because their immune system manages to keep the bacteria completely dormant for years, sometimes decades. There's a theme park in Lithuania where you pay money to experience what life was like as a Soviet citizen. Visitors get their belongings confiscated, get interrogated, have to wear gas masks, and are forced to learn the Soviet national anthem. Everyone gets a shot of vodka at the end, though. The pawn's double-step move in chess, where it can advance 2 squares instead of 1, wasn't part of the game's original rules. Historical records show it started as a local variation in Europe around the 13th century before spreading everywhere. Jet engines get tested by blasting them with 800 gallons of water a minute, chunks of ice, and even dead chickens, just to make sure they hold up structurally against anything they might encounter mid-flight in real-world extreme conditions. Switzerland has enough underground bunker space to shelter its entire population, with room to spare. Since the Cold War, the law has required every new building to include access to a bunker with airtight doors and its own independent ventilation system, just in case. Norway's coastline is so jagged that if you measured every fjord, island, and inlet, the total length would be enough to wrap around planet Earth 2.5 times. That massive length comes from millions of years of glaciers carving into the landscape. In 2012, French beekeepers couldn't figure out why their bees were producing blue and green honey. After investigating, they discovered the bees had been visiting a nearby M&M's factory and feeding on the colored sugary waste. Actor Bob Odenkirk, best known for playing Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad, discovered on a TV show that his family tree makes him an 11th cousin of King Charles III of the United Kingdom. He laughed it off, but made sure to clarify he's not exactly pro-monarchy. There's a real condition called thunderstorm asthma, where certain weather patterns trigger mass asthma attacks across entire cities. During storms, pollen breaks into particles so tiny that once inhaled, they cause severe symptoms even in people who've never had asthma before. Lions were once the most widely distributed wildland mammal on Earth, second only to humans, found across Africa, Eurasia, and the Americas. Their reign ended around 12,000 years ago, as humans spread out and developed better hunting tools, gradually pushing them into smaller and smaller territories. Volcanic ash has been used for centuries as an abrasive ingredient in soaps, erasers, polishes, toothpaste, and beauty products. Its physical texture makes it naturally great at polishing and cleaning surfaces, and it's still found in some specialty products today. Astronaut Chris Hadfield once said that every astronaut aboard the International Space Station has tried to propel themselves using their own farts. Technically, the physics checks out. In practice, nobody's ever generated enough thrust to actually move. Science disappointing everyone once again. In the 18th century, English sailors were partially paid in rum. To make sure it hadn't been watered down, they'd mix in gunpowder and try to light it on fire. If it wouldn't easily ignite, or the alcohol content was under 57%, it failed the test. By the time you turn 19 years and 4 days old, you will have lived exactly 10 million minutes since birth. It sounds made up, but the math checks out perfectly. Next time someone hits that exact age, you've got the perfect party fact ready to go. Mosquitoes have a clear favorite: people with type O blood. Studies show these insects can detect chemical differences in skin and sweat, and they land on people with type O far more often than any other blood type. The International Space Station has cost over $150 billion so far, making it the most expensive structure humanity has ever built. Multiple space agencies are involved, and it's been continuously inhabited for over 2 decades, running as a science lab in orbital microgravity. The Columbian Exchange, starting in the 15th century, was the first time in history food traveled between continents on a massive scale. Before that, there was no coffee in Colombia, no potatoes in Ireland, no tomatoes in Italy, no pineapples in Hawaii, and no oranges in Florida. Frida Kahlo showed up to her first solo exhibition in Mexico in an ambulance in 1953, going completely against her doctor's orders. Despite being seriously ill, she had herself set up on a bed inside the gallery just so she could greet her guests in person. There's a 9-hour Netflix documentary about Prince that dug through 8,000 unreleased songs he kept locked away in a vault. His family, however, never approved its release, and reportedly, it will never be made available to the public in any format. Cornflakes, that basic breakfast cereal, actually contain more genes than humans do. It makes zero intuitive sense, but corn has around 32,000 genes while humans have roughly 23,000. Turns out gene count has nothing to do with how complex an organism is. The famous photo of the Wright brothers' first flight at Kitty Hawk was taken by a farmer named John T. Daniels, who had never touched a camera in his life. All he did was press the button. That same day, he also became a witness to the first powered flight in human history. The most decorated dog of World War I was Sergeant Stubby, a bull terrier who saved his entire regiment from multiple mustard gas attacks by smelling it before the soldiers ever could. After the war, he marched in military parades and personally met 3 U.S. presidents. There's a band in Boston that ditched traditional instruments entirely and plays only on typewriters. The Boston Typewriter Orchestra started in 2004, blending percussion, satire, and full office worker aesthetics. Over 20 years later, they're still touring and performing live. The most complex Japanese character ever created is called Taito, made up of 84 individual strokes. It's meant to depict a dragon in mid-flight. It's not officially recognized in standard Japanese writing, but calligraphy enthusiasts consider it legendary for its sheer complexity. Genghis Khan exempted the poor from paying taxes, guaranteed religious freedom across his territories, and gave conquered peoples the chance to join his empire voluntarily before ever attacking them. His reputation as a brutal conqueror hides a surprisingly progressive style of governing for medieval standards. In 2005, a 4-year-old kid in Texas was hunting for fossils on a ranch near Dallas and stumbled onto dinosaur bones over 100 million years old. Paleontologists confirmed they belong to a plant-eating dinosaur from the Cretaceous period. Beginner's luck, apparently. In the summer of 1959, A rhinoceros from the Sao Paulo Zoo named Cacareco won a city election in Brazil. Students promoted his candidacy as a protest. He beat every human candidate because, as one voter put it, they'd rather vote for a rhino than a jackass. Dragonflies can fly backward, something almost no other flying insect or animal on Earth can pull off. They also have close to a full 360-degree field of vision, thanks to their compound eyes. They've got 6 legs, but strangely can't walk. They only use them to perch on plants and branches. King Fahd International Airport in Saudi Arabia is the largest airport in the world by land area, covering about 300 square miles. But it's nowhere near the busiest. That title belongs to Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta, which handles over 93 million passengers a year. Open Cola is an open-source cola brand, meaning its entire recipe is publicly available for anyone to use. You can brew it, tweak it, or improve it however you want, with 0 legal restrictions and 0 royalties owed to any company. During World War II, the British captured German officers and housed them in a luxury mansion with fine food, wine, and hidden microphones in every single room. The casual conversations these prisoners had, thinking they were in total privacy, leaked valuable military intelligence that helped speed up the end of the war. The first person to ever jump off the Brooklyn Bridge was a professional diver trying to prove the fall itself wouldn't kill you. And he was right, the 130-foot drop didn't hurt him at all. The problem was hitting the water. The impact killed him instantly on landing. There's an index called the Good Country Index that measures how much each nation contributes to global well-being and humanity as a whole. In its latest ranking, Sweden takes the top spot, followed by Denmark and Germany. The highest-ranked Latin American country is Chile, sitting at number 33. The greater metropolitan area of La Paz, Bolivia, runs the largest urban cable car network on Earth, spanning over 18 miles across 10 different lines. It was built purely out of necessity given the mountainous terrain. John Lennon signed the document that officially dissolved the Beatles at Walt Disney World, specifically inside the Polynesian village, while on vacation in 1974. The other 3 members had already signed days earlier. The 4 of them were never in the same place together again. There are thousands of man-made objects sitting abandoned on the moon's surface, left behind by various space missions. Tools, spacecraft parts, flags, rovers, golf balls, boots, a self-portrait from astronaut James Irwin, and even $100 bills that were originally meant to be brought back home. Studies across multiple countries suggest that people who constantly seem distracted or zoned out actually have better memory and sharper brains. So-called mind-wandering activates brain networks tied to creativity and to locking in long-term memories. Ancient Pompeii had close to 100 fast food spots known as thermopolia. Most homes in the city didn't even have kitchens or dining areas. Turns out delivery culture and fast food aren't modern inventions at all. They go back at least 2,000 years. Primates have the exact same vocal anatomy needed to talk like us. So why can't they? It's not their mouths, it's their brains. They simply lack the neural wiring to control their larynx with precision, and that's the real reason apes never learned to speak. In 1945, America built a monster, the T-28 Super Heavy Tank. It weighed over 90 tons and crawled along at a blistering 8 miles per hour. After testing, the thing just vanished. No records, no trace until someone stumbled onto it sitting in a storage yard almost 30 years later, in 1974. Ever feel true panic at the thought of running out of things to read? There's a name for that: bibliophobia. It's not an official diagnosis, but it describes something very real, genuine anxiety at the idea of being stranded without a book nearby. Mortal Kombat almost didn't exist as we know it. The game was originally built entirely around Jean-Claude Van Damme. When that deal collapsed, the developers didn't scrap the character, they rebranded him. That leftover concept became Johnny Cage. The walls of Sacsayhuaman, an Incan fortress in Cusco, Peru, are built from stone blocks weighing up to 130 tons each, and they were fitted together so precisely you can't even slide a sheet of paper between them. Centuries of earthquakes later, it's still standing. More than 1,700 words we use in English today didn't exist until one man invented them: William Shakespeare. He fused Latin and Germanic roots to build brand new vocabulary, and centuries after his death, we're still speaking his words without even realizing it. Corn as we know it cannot survive in the wild. None. Zero. Stop farming it and it dies out completely. That's because humans engineered it from a wild grass called teosinte, starting roughly 9,000 years ago. A Scrubs episode once mocked the cheesy, overproduced style of multi-camera sitcoms and then won an Emmy for Best Multi-Camera Editing. They won the exact award for the exact thing they were making fun of. Either nobody got the joke, or the joke was just that good. Some squirrels dry mushrooms out for winter the exact same way humans make jerky by hanging them from tree branches. It's not just about preservation either. Drying them out keeps bacteria and larvae away from their real treasure, the acorns stored underneath. Craig McTavish holds a strange piece of hockey history. He's the last NHL player to ever play a game without a helmet, back in 1997. Veterans drafted before 1979 were grandfathered in under an old exemption right up until the league finally made helmets mandatory for everyone. An octopus can shift its skin color up to 177 times in a single hour. It's not just camouflage, it's communication. It's a warning system, and somehow, each part of its body can change independently all at once. In 2015, the Smithsonian did something bizarre. They officially put Wonder Woman's invisible jet on display. Crews used cranes to install it, carefully cleaned it, and crowds showed up to see it. Yes, people lined up to look at nothing. In 1880, an unidentified woman was pulled from the Seine River in Paris. The morgue worker who prepared her body was so struck by her calm, peaceful expression that he cast a mold of her face. Surnames are dying out faster than you'd think. In China, 96% of the entire population shares just 200 surnames. Centuries of war, migration, and cultural mixing quietly wiped out almost everything else. Charlie Sheen once spent $6,500 buying up 2,615 seats at Angel Stadium, just so he and 3 friends could catch a home run ball with zero competition. There wasn't a single home run hit that entire game. Peak Charlie Sheen. Tropico 5 is banned in Thailand. The country's military government decided a game about running a fictional tropical dictatorship satire, and all counted as a genuine threat to national security. That ban has never been lifted. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the fictional band The Weird Sisters isn't just fictional actors miming along. That's really Jarvis Cocker from Pulp on vocals, with Johnny Greenwood and Phil Selway of Radiohead playing behind him and almost nobody watching ever noticed. Solar power used to be absurdly expensive. In 1975, it cost about $100 per watt. Today, in 2026, wholesale prices sit between 15 and 20 cents per watt. That's a drop of nearly 99.8% in under 50 years. Metallica was the first band in history to play concerts on all 7 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica, and they did it all in a single year, 2013. The Antarctic show broke every rule of a normal concert. Out of respect for the ecosystem, there were no outdoor amplifiers at all. The crowd wore headphones instead. The music was happening live, in real time, and completely silent to the outside world. 75% of homes in Japan have high-tech toilets that don't even need toilet paper. They open automatically, heat the seat, play water sounds for privacy, and close themselves all without you touching a single surface. In the Spanish town of Coria del Rio, over 600 people share a very unusual last name: Japón. It traces back to 1614 when a samurai named Hasakura Tsunanaga arrived on a diplomatic mission. Your brain cannot feel pain, not directly. It has zero pain receptors, called nociceptors. That's exactly why surgeons can operate on a fully awake patient during certain brain surgeries, and the patient feels absolutely nothing from the brain tissue itself. France doesn't just discourage child beauty pageants for girls under 16, it bans them outright, with penalties of up to 2 years in prison and a €30,000 fine. The law came directly out of concern over the sexualization of children in media. Eddie Murphy almost never got hired on Saturday Night Live, the exact show that launched his entire career. Why? A producer thought the cast already had enough black representation. One decision away, and modern comedy history looks completely different. The gin and tonic wasn't invented for taste, it was invented out of necessity. British soldiers in colonial India were using quinine to fight off malaria, but it was brutally bitter. So they mixed it with sugar, lime, soda water, and gin, and accidentally created a cocktail classic. When astronomer Fritz Zwicky, the man who first proposed dark matter, got banned from using the telescope at Palomar Observatory, he had a legendary response. He started calling his fellow astronomers spherical bastards. His reasoning? No matter which angle you looked at them from, they were still bastards. George Reeves, who played Superman on 50s television, had a very real problem. Fans kept trying to test his powers in real life. One admirer actually pointed a gun at him. Reeves talked him out of pulling the trigger by warning that the bullet could ricochet and hurt someone else in the room. Mercury's poles hide something you'd never expect on the closest planet to the sun: ice. Certain crater floors near the poles have sat in permanent shadow since they formed sunlight, has never once touched them, and scientists found frozen water sitting there, despite the planet's brutal surface heat. Meet one of nature's strangest solutions to loneliness, a hermaphroditic worm called Macrostomum lignano. When it can't find a mate, it injects sperm directly into its own head to fertilize itself. Efficient? Extremely. Normal? Not even a little. The man who invented the upside-down ketchup bottle solved one of the most annoying problems in the kitchen. Ketchup that won't come out when the bottle's nearly empty. That simple fix has earned him $13 million in royalties and counting. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, there's an actual legal definition of a sandwich. It must contain at least 3% meat and no more than 50% bread. Bureaucracy, apparently, has strong opinions about lunch. There's a zip line stretched between Spain and Portugal where launching off the Spanish side lands you across a river in an entirely different country. It's the only zip line on Earth that turns a few seconds of falling into an international border crossing. In Russia, 25% of men die before they even turn 55, and excessive vodka consumption is a leading cause. It's one of the starkest rates of premature male mortality tied to alcohol anywhere in the developed world. Cuttlefish can shift colors almost instantly to blend into their surroundings, despite being completely colorblind. Special cells called chromatophores expand and contract under direct nervous system control, letting them read light polarization and contrast to camouflage with eerie precision. In 1980, a Star Wars Christmas album hit shelves, and it featured a very young, very unknown Bon Jovi, years before his band made him a household name. He contributed to a track called R2D2 We Wish You a Merry Christmas, now one of the rarest collector's items out there. Here's a strange one. Smarter people can generate sarcastic comments faster than everyone else. Sarcasm forces your brain to process the literal meaning, flip it to the opposite meaning, and read the social context all in real time. That takes serious mental speed and flexibility. A man lost in the woods in Saskatchewan, Canada, came up with a genius escape plan. He deliberately snapped a power line pole. His logic? Utility workers would show up to fix it, and they'd find him in the process. It worked exactly as planned. Urban Dictionary, yes. That Urban Dictionary has actually been cited in U.S. court cases to define slang terms judges couldn't find in official dictionaries. What started as a joke website now carries real legal weight in American courtrooms. Stevie Nicks made history as the first woman ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, once with Fleetwood Mac, and again for her solo career. Years later, only Tina Turner and Carole King would join her in that exclusive club. Every single night, Walt Disney World's cleaning crew sprays scorching hot water across the walkways to melt away stuck chewing gum. They follow it up with pressure steam machines, an invisible ritual that's quietly become part of the park's identity. There's a linguistic mistake almost everyone makes without realizing it: the redundant acronym syndrome. Saying IVA tax is really saying tax, since the I already stands for impuesto. Same goes for VIH virus. Once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. The London Underground almost stretched all the way to Paris. Back in the late 1800s, there were serious proposals to dig a tunnel beneath the English Channel, connecting the two capitals directly. Military and security concerns killed the plan, though decades later, the Eurotunnel finally made it real. Here's a rare one. 5% of people will go their entire lives without ever having a single headache. Not once. Not from stress, not from dehydration, nothing. Researchers think genetics might be the reason some brains are simply immune. Nearly 1 billion tons of food get wasted across the planet every single year. Most of it comes straight out of households, followed by restaurants and grocery stores. That's enough food to feed the world's hungry population several times over. In 2012, a mathematician sent Nickelodeon an open letter pointing out something bizarre. The geometry of SpongeBob's pineapple house was mathematically impossible. The show's creators actually responded and quietly fixed the design. That corrected house is the one still airing today. The Pittsburgh Steelers are one of only 7 NFL teams that have never had cheerleaders. The team made that call back in 1969, and they've never reversed it, a quiet tradition that sets them apart from the rest of the league. Ever wonder why some eggs are brown and some are white? Check the chicken's earlobes. White-eared hens lay white eggs. Red or brown-eared hens lay colored eggs, and a few special breeds even lay blue or green ones. Steve Jobs' biological father was Abdul Fattah Jandali, a Syrian-born academic who moved to the U.S. and ran a restaurant right in Silicon Valley, the same area where Jobs grew up with his adoptive family. Rumor has it the two crossed paths in that restaurant multiple times, never once realizing they were father and son. The very first pocket watches, back in the early 1500s, only had one hand. That single hand gave you a rough idea of the hour, kind of like a sundial. Precision just wasn't the point back then. Adding more hands was seen as pointless. Nuclear plants have a terrifying reputation. But here's the twist. They produce up to 100 times less radiation than coal plants and release 0 direct pollutants into the air. It might genuinely be one of the cleanest large-scale energy sources we have. Public opinion just hasn't caught up. Algeria's national anthem has one of the most brutal origin stories out there. Poet Mufti Zakaria wrote it using his own blood on the wall of his cell in a French colonial prison after being tortured for his independence activism. Those blood-written words eventually became the country's official anthem. During the Nazi occupation of France, the French resistance cut the elevator cables inside the Eiffel Tower. The goal was simple: force Hitler to climb every single step on foot if he wanted to reach the top. He decided it wasn't worth it and never made it up. Archaeologists can spot a medieval archer's skeleton just by looking at the bones. Years of drawing heavy war bows physically warped their arms and shoulders to handle the extreme muscle strain. Those deformities are so distinct, researchers can identify archers centuries later. Ever had a word sitting right on the tip of your tongue, completely refusing to come out? There's actually a name for that frustration: onomatomania. One weirdly complicated word for a feeling literally everyone has felt. In 2007, a man named Jeremy Harper decided to count out loud to 1 million. He live-streamed the entire thing, didn't leave his house, didn't even shave until he finished. It took him 3 straight months of non-stop counting to finally hit 1 million. There's an edible fungus called Laetiporus, nicknamed chicken of the woods, that grows in clusters on oak trees. Its claim to fame, it tastes shockingly close to real fried chicken. That meaty, fibrous texture has made it one of the most popular plant-based meat substitutes in kitchens worldwide. Bill Gates' first business wasn't software. It wasn't even computers. It was a company called Trafo Data, and it built machines that counted how many cars passed down a given street. Modest start, but it was the first step of an entrepreneur who'd go on to build Microsoft. The first DVDs hit shelves in Japan in 1996, packed with music video compilations. The first movie to ever outsell its own VHS version on DVD, The Matrix. In under a decade, that format completely rewired the entire entertainment industry. Pixar has an internal name for their own success formula: the anti-Disney approach. No forced musical numbers, no guaranteed happy endings, no cookie-cutter romance. Instead, they aim for one thing: making you cry. And statistically, that formula has outperformed every other approach in the industry. In Norway, the maximum prison sentence for any crime is 21 years. The death penalty was abolished back in 1971, and ever since, the entire prison system has been built around rehabilitation, resulting in one of the lowest reoffending rates on Earth. In 1989, Mitsubishi bought Rockefeller Center in New York, a symbol of Japan's booming economic power at the time. But when the real estate bubble burst the following decade and Japan slid into recession, the company was forced to sell its stake at a massive loss. Pop star Sabrina Carpenter is technically the niece of Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson since 1989. Not by blood, though. Sabrina's grandmother married Nancy's father, making Sabrina's dad and Nancy step-siblings. Cartwright confirmed the connection herself in a video in 2024. So technically, the voice of Bart Simpson really is Sabrina Carpenter's aunt. Musician Israel Kamakawiwo'ole once called a recording studio at 3 in the morning and asked if he could record right then and there. They said yes. He showed up 15 minutes later and recorded his now legendary version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow in a single, uninterrupted take. In 2008, Doritos teamed up with a space center in Norway to beam a 30-second ad toward a planetary system 42 light-years away. The signal is expected to arrive in roughly 42 years, assuming anyone out there is listening. San Marino holds a wild title, the oldest continuously existing republic on the planet. It broke away from the Roman Empire in the year 301 and has stayed sovereign, uninterrupted, for over 1,700 years, completely surrounded by Italy. One employee at a major company secretly outsourced his entire job to a subcontractor in China, paying them a tiny fraction of his own salary. Meanwhile, he spent his workdays just playing games at his desk. He pulled that off for years, pocketing thousands, until the company finally caught on and fired him. Tech companies love using New Zealand as a testing ground before launching products worldwide. Its geographic isolation and tech-friendly culture make it perfect for measuring reactions without risking bigger markets. It was actually one of the first 3 countries where Pokémon Go ever launched. During Tokyo's real estate bubble in the 1980s, the grounds of the Imperial Palace, just a bit over 1 square mile, were valued at more than every single piece of real estate in the entire state of California combined. One garden worth more than an entire US state. Somewhere in Russia, there's a mystery radio frequency that's been broadcasting the exact same buzzing tone non-stop since 1982. Nobody knows for certain where it comes from or what it means. Saudi Arabia has been quietly buying up farmland on nearly every continent to make up for a brutal problem at home. Almost the entire country is desert without a single river. Land bought mostly across the US, and Argentina is now what feeds the Saudi population. The Hoba meteorite in Namibia is the largest natural chunk of iron ever found on Earth. It was discovered in 1920 and weighs around 67 tons. Here's the creepy part. There's no crater anywhere near it, so nobody actually knows where it originally landed. Jumping spiders in the Salticidae family can't move the outer lens of their eyes at all. It's completely fixed in place. Instead, they've got retinal tubes inside that slide around using microscopic muscles. That's how they lock onto prey with insane precision before they pounce. And yes, they can see in ultraviolet too. The Leshan giant Buddha is a statue carved directly into a cliff face. It stands 233 feet tall and was built over 1,000 years ago. Its whole purpose was to calm the raging waters of the river below, where legend says its presence kept boats from sinking. A bonsai tree over 400 years old actually survived the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, sheltered inside the walls of a greenhouse. Masaru Yamaki donated it to the National Arboretum in the United States. Today it sits in the National Bonsai Museum in Washington as a living symbol of resilience. Ferrofluid is a magnetic liquid that, when exposed to a magnetic field, forms spikes, spirals, and mind-bending geometric patterns. It looks like it's alive, dancing, and shifting shape depending on the strength and direction of the magnet. It's used in science, art, and tech. At 64 years old, Diana Nyad pulled off one of the wildest feats in extreme sports history, swimming from Cuba to Florida with no shark cage. On September 2, 2013, she completed the 110-mile crossing after nearly 53 hours straight in the water. It was her 5th attempt. Colombia has actually had 5 different names throughout its history. First it was Gran Colombia, then Nueva Granada, then the Granadine Confederation, later the United States of Colombia, and finally it settled on the Republic of Colombia, the name it still holds today. The Sedlec Ossuary is a Catholic chapel in the Czech Republic, decorated entirely with human bones. It contains roughly 40,000 human skeletons, arranged as actual decoration throughout the building. A woodcarver was hired to organize the remains, and what he created is one seriously haunting masterpiece. There's a river in Peru called Shanay Timpishka, which literally means boiled by the heat of the sun. It's located in Huánuco, and its waters reach over 190 degrees Fahrenheit. It stretches for over 37 miles. Spiders don't have ears, but they can still detect sound thanks to ultra-sensitive hairs covering their legs. Their bodies evolved a completely different way of picking up vibrations compared to other species. Thanks to these tiny hairs, they can sense sounds from many feet away with incredible precision without a single visible ear. When the oriental hognose snake feels threatened, its first move is to impersonate a deadly viper, flaring its neck and hissing like crazy. If that doesn't work, it moves to plan B. It flips onto its back and plays dead. This trick is called thanatosis, and it's one of the most dramatic defense strategies in the entire animal kingdom. Snow beer is basically unknown outside of China, yet it holds the title of best-selling beer on the planet. Its success has nothing to do with global popularity and everything to do with a massive local market and dirt-cheap pricing. With millions of gallons consumed every year, a 400-year-old bonsai survived Hiroshima. A river in Peru boils at nearly 200 degrees. A marathon only 18 people have finished in 40 years. The world is full of extreme corners that defy what we think is possible, hidden away in jungles, rivers, and mountains almost nobody's ever seen. On the German island of Nordstrand-Ishmoor, all 18 residents get around in individual rail carts, running on narrow tracks stretching just over 2 miles. Those tracks used to haul construction materials, but now they're the island's only form of transportation. Every single neighbor has their own personal cart. The saguaro cactus is the tallest cactus species on Earth, capable of reaching 65 feet in height. Its stem can grow up to 30 inches thick, and it can live for 300 years, though it grows painfully slowly. Its spines run anywhere from 2 to 3 inches long. Switzerland's Glacier Express covers about 170 miles in 8 hours, linking up alpine stations along the way. Far from being a flaw, its slowness is exactly what made it the country's most famous tourist train. Passengers love soaking in the alpine scenery the whole ride, turning slow into its biggest selling point. Mother Shipton's Cave in North Yorkshire, England, has a bizarre power. It can turn objects to stone thanks to the minerals in the water dripping inside it. A small teddy bear, for example, can take anywhere from 3 to 5 months to fully petrify. This eerie effect has fueled legends for centuries among visitors. In Queenstown, New Zealand, there's a swing recognized as the most extreme in the world, suspended roughly 520 feet in the air. This wild ride lets you hit speeds over 75 miles per hour. It's pure adrenaline for anyone brave enough to sit down and just let go. Movie sets use bulbs pumping out up to 20,000 watts to light up rooms with a white light so intense it perfectly mimics natural midday sun. No home could ever handle that kind of power draw, but these bulbs are essential for getting that flawless lighting that makes actors look razor sharp on screen. Researchers actually managed to recover DNA from a fossilized dinosaur over 125 million years old. Scientists say cloning one of these creatures could theoretically be possible if enough well-preserved genetic material were found. These remains were in such exceptional condition that they've opened doors once thought to belong only in science fiction movies. Malakam is a traditional Indian sport with over 200 years of history, blending yoga and gymnastics on a wooden pole standing 26 feet tall. Athletes have to grip the pole with their arms and legs while pulling off acrobatic poses. It's a mix of strength, flexibility, and deep-rooted cultural tradition. The spider Cybrenus rechenbergi lives in the Moroccan desert and has one of the strangest defense systems around. When threatened, it starts cartwheeling and flipping at speeds of over 6 feet per second. This acrobatic chaos confuses and scares off predators. It's a nocturnal spider that builds tube-shaped burrows out of silk. The Maraca is the world's first underwater hotel, located on Rangali Island in the Maldives. It's the ultimate way to experience the Indian Ocean from inside your own bedroom. But sleeping submerged in paradise doesn't come cheap. $50,000 for a single night. A Toyota GR Supra was built using over 470,000 Lego pieces. The finished car weighs about 4,000 pounds and runs on an electric motor that lets it cruise at 15 miles per hour. A team of 23 people put in 5,400 hours of work to build this fully drivable, life-size car. Cookies go soft when left out in the open air because they're packed with sugar and salt that soak up moisture from the environment. Baguettes, on the other hand, go hard because they barely have any sugar or salt to absorb that same moisture. It all comes down to composition, which explains why two kinds of bread react in totally opposite ways to the same air. In India, there are bars and restaurants where people can pay to breathe pure oxygen for 15 minutes, all because of the extreme pollution choking the cities. In places like Delhi or Mumbai, clean air has basically become a luxury product. Selling breathable air has grown into a real business, not just some passing trend. The ocean sunfish, or mola mola, is the heaviest bony fish in the entire world. Its body basically looks like a giant floating head over 10 feet long, with fins and no visible tail at all. It can lay up to 300 million eggs and feeds mostly on jellyfish and other gooey creatures from the deep ocean. There's a soap called Qatar Royal Soap, considered the most expensive in the world, priced at around $4,000. Its ingredients include gold powder, virgin honey, and actual diamonds. It's made exclusively for Qatari royalty and isn't sold to the public anywhere at any price. In Veracruz, Mexico, the indigenous Totonac ceremony known as the Voladoras de Papantla is a sight like no other. 4 people climb to the top of an enormous pole, and descends spinning in circles as if flying, while another performer plays music from the very top. It's an ancient tradition packed with spiritual meaning, blending dance, risk, and perfect timing. Red hair isn't just a different color, it's the result of a specific mutation in the MC1R gene that affects melanin production. On top of the striking look, this mutation also makes redheads more sensitive to sunlight and pain. The mutation shows up most in Ireland and Scotland. There are beds equipped with earthquake-proof technology that can transform into a metal bunker in just seconds. Most natural disasters hit at night, when people have zero time to react. This structure can withstand water, fire, falls, and extreme impacts. It even comes with a full survival kit, and the wildest part is it only costs $300. The whitest paint ever developed, created by engineers at Purdue University, can reflect 98% of solar radiation. If used to coat a roof about 1,000 square feet in size, it could generate 10 kilowatts of cooling power. It's a solution that could someday replace air conditioners in homes everywhere. Turkish ice cream has a texture unlike anything else on Earth. It's made with goat's milk, high-quality sugar, and a powder extracted from the root of a wild Middle Eastern orchid. That secret ingredient gives it a stretchy, chewy texture and also keeps it from melting fast. In the Japanese city of Naruto, giant whirlpools 65 feet wide have terrified locals for centuries. Today, they're a jaw-dropping tourist attraction. The phenomenon happens because the meeting point of the Sea of Japan and the Pacific Ocean forces the water to spin violently at least twice a day. Hovding is a bike safety device worn like a collar around your neck that acts as an invisible airbag. When it senses a crash, it inflates in just 1/10 of a second, protecting your head and neck way better than a regular helmet. It even includes a black box that records all the impact data. The Gate Tower building in Osaka, Japan, is a 16-story building with one totally unique feature. Floors 5, 6, and 7 have a highway running straight through them. Here's the wildest part. The road doesn't actually touch the building structure at all. It just passes through without making contact. In Chile, there's the Atacama Giant, also known as the Tarapaca Giant, a massive figure made of arranged stones on Cerro Unida Hill. It stretches 390 feet long, making it the largest anthropomorphic geoglyph in the world. Every holiday season, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria builds the largest sand nativity scene in the world, crafted by artists from multiple countries. The level of detail is staggering, with traditional scenes and figures that look almost lifelike. This isn't your average tabletop nativity. It's a massive, temporary work of art that draws in thousands of tourists. Feather stars, also called crinoids, are marine animals that look like plants and live in deep-sea environments all around the world. They've got a wild survival trick. When threatened, they'll actually amputate one of their own arms to distract a predator. Over time, they regenerate that lost limb completely, thanks to their incredible regenerative abilities. Surgifield is a portable operating room that fits entirely inside a backpack and can be set up in minutes to perform surgery in remote areas without hospitals. It includes a sterile bubble, a self-contained battery, and a control module that allows for urgent surgeries in hard-to-reach places. It doesn't sacrifice quality or safety despite its incredibly compact size. Romania is home to the shortest highway in the world, measuring exactly 3 feet long. It was built by a businessman as a form of protest to call out the country's lack of road infrastructure. The project was backed by thousands of people and was officially opened with the local mayor present at a completely serious ceremony. Maximo is an AI-powered robot designed to install solar panels twice as fast as a human crew. It doesn't just speed up the work, it also cuts costs and improves precision on every single installation. It can adapt to different terrains and make real-time decisions throughout the entire process without needing constant human supervision. The Gate Tower, the boiling river in Peru, Romania's 3-foot highway, and that 520-foot swing in New Zealand all prove one thing. Reality keeps outdoing our imagination at every turn. The list of things we never knew existed just keeps growing. Aerogogo inflatable furniture inflates with the push of a button and can hold up to 660 pounds. It's got a built-in rechargeable battery, so you never need to be near an outlet. It's perfect for people who move around a lot, parties, camping trips, or small spaces that need to stay flexible. Once you're done, it packs away into almost nothing. There's a car that actually changes color depending on its temperature, thanks to a special thermochromic paint coating the entire body. This pigment turns transparent as the temperature rises, revealing the color underneath. When it cools back down, it turns opaque and dark again. It's a moving visual show that's becoming more common on the streets. The Irish Wolfhound is the tallest dog breed on average in the world, standing up to nearly 3 feet at the shoulder. Despite its massive size, it's agile and fast, capable of running down and taking on large animals. Historically, it was used for hunting and guarding livestock across rural Ireland. FarmBot Genesis is an open-source farming robot that plants, waters, and takes care of vegetables automatically, right from your backyard. You can program it from your phone and just watch it work while you go about your day. In a world where a lot of people have no idea where their food actually comes from, this thing reconnects people with the whole process of growing it. Tatsuya Tanaka is a Japanese artist who builds tiny miniature worlds out of everyday scenes. In the year 2021, he created a series of 37 pieces inspired by the Olympics, using shells, noodles, and sushi. Every piece is a tiny world that makes you look at the everyday in a completely new and surprising way. The City Transformer is a car designed to shrink dramatically when it needs to squeeze into tiny parking spots. Its transformation mechanism lets the vehicle literally fold down to fit where other cars simply can't. It's a creative attempt at solving parking congestion in cities where space just keeps getting tighter. There's a humidifier that creates a floating, jellyfish-shaped mist, complete with color-changing LED lights and built-in aromatherapy. The coolest part is you can control it with sound or straight from your phone. The mist mimics the movement of a real jellyfish, creating a completely original, relaxing vibe in any room. In India, oxygen bars, where you can breathe pure oxygen for 15 minutes, have exploded in popularity. Pollution in many cities is so extreme that clean air has basically become a product you buy. There's a drone equipped with a flamethrower that can shoot a flame up to 23 feet long for 100 seconds straight. It's used to clear out wasp nests in dangerous locations or for fire control work where sending in a person would be way too risky. It sounds extreme, but it's actually much safer than the human alternative in those situations. There's a burger out there that costs $5,400. It comes loaded with beluga caviar, Italian white truffle, and bread coated in edible gold. It's not just food, it's an extreme dining experience for people chasing the most exclusive flavors on the planet. Wave energy buoys convert the motion of ocean waves into electricity, non-stop. For coastal cities, this is a sustainable way to generate power without relying on sun or wind. The system runs 24 hours a day, with buoys generating current by riding the ocean's natural rhythm without ever stopping. Mexican banknotes are packed with watermarks, textures you can actually feel, optical elements that shift color depending on the angle, and fibers that glow under ultraviolet light. All of this advanced security tech exists for one reason: stopping counterfeiters and protecting the country's economy. Every single bill is basically a tiny lab of materials and technology. The Euler's disk is a physics experiment where you spin a disk on a perfectly smooth, flat surface. As it spins, instead of slowing down and stopping like you'd expect, it actually speeds up, giving the illusion it might never stop. It's based on the conservation of energy, and it's one of the science community's favorite toys. Smart glass windows automatically adjust to outdoor light levels, or however much privacy you want. When the sun's blazing, the glass darkens on its own. When you want privacy, it shifts transparency without any curtains or blinds needed. It's smart home tech that basically makes Windows think for you. Poimo is an inflatable electric bike that fits inside a backpack. Once unfolded, it inflates in just 1 minute and works just like a regular bike to get you around the city fast. Picture this: hop off public transit, pull it out, and pedal effortlessly the rest of the way to your destination. In movies, tons of special effects that look massive are actually pulled off using miniature models, tiny buildings, scaled-down vehicles, or entire scenes built at a fraction of their real size. These miniatures are used to recreate explosions and destruction that would be way too expensive or dangerous to film at full scale. The bobsleigh is an electric vehicle built to deliver pure adrenaline on snowy terrain without burning a drop of fossil fuel. Its lightweight frame and precise traction make it perfect for sliding across the snow fast and safe. It doesn't pollute or release any emissions into the environment around it. Diamond Beach in Iceland has chunks of ice washed up on shore that sparkle like real diamonds against the black volcanic sand. Every single piece of ice has been smoothed by the ocean and polished by the sand until it reaches a stunning, crystal-clear finish. These chunks break off from a nearby glacier and drift to shore on the currents. Airless tires are revolutionizing the auto industry by completely wiping out the risk of flats. Their internal structure swaps out air for materials that absorb impact and never go flat. They need less maintenance, deliver consistent performance on any terrain, and cut long-term operating costs. A wheel that just refuses to quit, no matter the road conditions. A Fiat Panda was modified down to just under 2 feet tall, making it the lowest car in the world. To pull it off, engineers made extreme changes to the suspension and structure without losing the functionality of an actual drivable car. This tiny mini Panda is a moving work of art that blends engineering with pure creativity. Robot dogs are being designed and tested to defuse bombs and explore extremely dangerous zones without putting a single human life at risk. They're equipped with cameras, sensors, and tools that let them detect, analyze, and handle explosives from a safe distance. They can climb stairs, trudge through mud and rubble, all without losing their balance thanks to some seriously sophisticated engineering. The Indian sport of Malakam, the snake that fakes its own death, spiders that see in ultraviolet, and Peru's boiling river are all reminders that nature has spent millions of years inventing solutions that humans are only just beginning to copy or understand. The Superstrata is an electric bike made entirely from 3D printed carbon fiber, custom built for each individual rider. It's manufactured as a single continuous piece with no joints or screws, making it incredibly light and strong at the same time. Plus, it's electric, so pedaling takes zero effort. It blends futuristic design, cutting-edge tech, and elite performance into one bike made just for you. Joshua Vides is an artist who turns ordinary cars into pieces that look straight out of a comic book. His method mixes vinyl with hand-painted details to transform three-dimensional vehicles into flat images that mimic cartoons. The result is so wild it messes with your brain, making real cars look like moving illustrations pulled straight out of a comic. Big Beach, also known as Big Major K, is a tiny island in the Bahamas with zero human residents. What makes it famous isn't the tropical scenery, it's the unusual locals. A group of wild pigs that swim freely through the turquoise waters surrounding the island. There are solar-powered GPS collars that create invisible fences around livestock without building a single physical barrier. When an animal gets close to the digital boundary set by the farmer, the collar sends out sound signals or vibrations warning it to turn back. Animals learn fast, and the pasture limits can be changed right from an app in seconds. An automaton called the Rider was built back in the 1700s with over 6,000 moving parts, and it could write out full sentences, moving its hand and pen exactly like a human. It was a mix of engineering and art, a toy for the wealthy that showed off the technical genius of its era, centuries before modern robots even existed. A survival capsule designed for natural disasters can withstand tsunamis, earthquakes, and explosions. It's stocked with 72 hours of supplies, oxygen, a communication system, and GPS, so it can be located. Its spherical shape and reinforced structure let it float and survive extreme impacts no matter the situation. In coastal or earthquake-prone areas, it could be the difference between life and death. 5D cinema goes way beyond three-dimensional images. The seats move in sync with the action, you feel wind on your face, you catch actual scents, and if it's raining in the movie, real water droplets can fall on you. There's a printer so small it fits in your pocket, and it can print text or designs onto pretty much any surface. Shirts, walls, wood, metal, cardboard. All you do is glide the head over the surface, and in seconds it leaves behind your design in crisp lines and vivid colors. It's like a miniature digital paintbrush you carry with you everywhere. The Emotion Adventure is a single-wheel electric unicycle that can hit speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. On a single charge, it can travel nearly 124 miles, making it super practical for long trips. Its compact size makes it easy to carry and store. It's a sustainable ride that could be the future of personal transportation in cities. Iceland's Diamond Beach, the swimming pigs of the Bahamas, Peru's boiling river, and the 65-foot whirlpools of Naruto, Japan, all have one thing in common. They're real places that sound made up. This planet has more extraordinary corners than any geography book could ever fully capture. Even tattoos are evolving into the future. Now there are designs that glow in the dark thanks to flexible microcircuits with built-in LED lights right in the skin. Some even respond to biometric sensors, changing color based on your pulse or body temperature. It's like wearing a glowing, interactive piece of art that reacts to your own body in real time. Bernard Smiled, an artist from the Netherlands, developed a method for creating real clouds inside enclosed spaces. His technique combines smoke and vapor while carefully adjusting temperature and humidity to form fleeting clouds that only last for a few brief moments. The goal is to photograph them before they vanish, capturing something as natural as it is impossible to see indoors. Felix Semper creates paper sculptures that stretch and bend like they're alive. They're made from thousands of carefully stacked and joined sheets, giving them a surprising elasticity similar to an accordion. His pieces completely shatter our idea of paper as a rigid, lifeless material with zero flexibility. The Helipad is the world's first inflatable helipad, able to deploy rapidly on snow or sand in even the most remote locations. It stays in place thanks to GPS and electric motors that automatically stabilize it. It's a flexible, fully portable structure that can be used anywhere a conventional helipad doesn't exist, making it especially useful for emergencies or unexpected temporary events. There are smart glasses that can translate what you're saying into another language in real time, built for travelers or professionals working across different languages. Beyond translating, they let you download apps, answer calls, and get notifications right in the lenses without ever pulling out your phone. It's tech that's making the world smaller and communication across cultures way more accessible. A gas station robot can automatically detect your vehicle, pop open the fuel tank, insert the nozzle, and start filling up without the driver lifting a single finger. Payment happens automatically through an app on your phone. This kind of automation is already being tested and could completely change the way we fill up our cars. The fujara is a uniquely shaped Slovak musical instrument. In the year 2008, UNESCO declared it, along with the traditional music that goes with it, an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Ambient lighting systems for TVs use a camera that captures the colors on screen and syncs them with lights placed behind the television. This creates an immersive vibe that amplifies the emotions of a movie or video game, like the whole room becomes part of the action. It turns any living room into a movie theater without ever leaving home. Howard Lee is an artist whose optical illusions are so perfectly executed they look like they're literally jumping off the paper. Using nothing but pencils and a flawlessly mastered technique, he creates images your brain reads as real three-dimensional objects. His process videos have gone viral because people are just as fascinated by the result as they are by how he pulls it off. Nadia is a humanoid robot built for boxing training using virtual reality and motion capture technology. A user can control its movements remotely and train like they're facing a real opponent inside an actual ring. This tech makes training safer, more controlled, and more effective for athletes of any level, all without the risk of injury from physical contact. Back in the year 2015 in Huntington Beach, California, 66 people climbed onto one giant surfboard together. They managed to stay balanced on it for 12 seconds straight, which took perfect coordination and balance from every single person at once. This world record proved that teamwork can pull off things that sound completely absurd or flat out impossible. A smart mattress called the DX Cushion automatically adapts to each person with 8 firmness levels that adjust based on your sleeping position throughout the night. It's got built-in cooling tech to keep you from overheating and tracks your sleep quality in real time. It's like having a sleep expert working the night shift while you rest, without you lifting a finger. Liquid hydrogen-powered planes could be the future of aviation. Not only are they way more eco-friendly by cutting out harmful emissions, they also double the range and cargo capacity compared to conventional aircraft. This kind of fuel could completely transform how we travel and how much impact we leave on the atmosphere. There's a mobility device that can switch from wheelchair to stretcher, from flat ground to stairs, all in seconds. It can climb steps like a spider and move at almost 19 miles per hour with full independence. It turns accessibility into something completely dynamic, adapting to whatever the situation calls for and giving real independence to the people who need it. Sophia is a humanoid robot created by Hanson Robotics in Hong Kong, designed to hold natural conversations with people. She's powered by AI that lets her understand context and even pick up on sarcasm and irony. She's one of the clearest signs of just how far robotics has come in the 21st century. The triathlon combines swimming, cycling, and running back-to-back with zero rest in between. Athletes have to manage their energy with precision because it's not just about physical endurance in each sport, it's about knowing exactly when to push and when to hold back. It's a test that demands just as much from the mind as it does from the body. A smart kettle can adjust temperature and steep time based on the type of tea you're brewing. Some versions even detect your pulse to personalize the drink to your physical state in that exact moment. That way, your tea always comes out exactly how you like it, with a level of control no regular kettle could ever offer. Dalmatians have a working dog history most people don't know about. For centuries, they were used as carriage dogs, running alongside horses, and they also accompanied and protected firefighting crews during emergencies. Their unmistakable black spots on white made them one of the most recognizable and iconic dogs in pop culture worldwide. Back in the year 2019 in Japan, the sky turned completely violet after a typhoon passed through. A combination of humidity in the air, suspended dust, and the sun's exact position caused the atmosphere to filter light in a totally unusual way. It was a visual phenomenon that stunned thousands of people and photographers across Japan. In Lagos, Nigeria, a doctor named David Tolaram created the largest single drawing in the world, covering an area of over 10,700 square feet. Across that massive canvas, he captured Nigeria's cultural unity in incredible artistic detail. The project blended art with social commentary. There's a device that burrows into the ground by mimicking the spinning motion of a seed until it's completely buried underground. Once beneath the surface, it can collect soil data, plant seeds, or generate energy depending on its programmed mission. Its design is inspired by nature and can be used in agriculture, environmental research, or ecosystem conservation. Helicopters have had a system called DART since the 1990s that lets them land on water in waves up to 20 feet high. Special floats deploy instantly and keep the helicopter afloat even in brutal conditions. That turns them into reliable amphibious vehicles capable of rescues and maritime operations in extreme weather. In the art world, Howard Lee with his optical illusions, Joshua Vides with his comic book cars, Tatsuya Tanaka with his miniature universes, and Joaquin Arbiza with his coin-covered car represent a generation of artists turning simple materials into visual experiences. In Valencia, Spain, there's a museum called Ilusiona that's entirely dedicated to interactive optical illusions. From walls that seem to move to objects that defy basic logic, everything is designed to surprise and entertain visitors. It's perfect for anyone who wants photos that look like they were taken on another planet. A device for cyclists works like a collar-shaped airbag that detects any crash and inflates in just 1/10 of a second. It protects the head and neck far more effectively than any regular helmet. It can even send automatic alerts to emergency contacts if it detects a serious impact while the cyclist is out riding through the city. The Irish Wolfhound and the Dalmatian are breeds with fascinating working histories. One hunted wolves in Ireland, the other trotted alongside fire carriages. Today they're family pets, but their bodies are still built to run, protect, and stick by your side with a loyalty that no training could ever replicate in any other domestic species on Earth. Modern factories and warehouses are adopting vertical spiral conveyor systems that move products from one level to another continuously and efficiently. This structure moves goods without needing traditional elevators, cuts down on the horizontal space required, and improves the internal flow of merchandise. It combines the logic of a slide with the precision of modern industrial engineering. The straightest road in the world is called the Air Highway, located on the Nullarbor Plain in Australia. It stretches 90 miles completely straight without a single curve or turn. That feature turned it into a tourist draw for drivers who want the experience of driving for hours without ever touching the steering wheel. A solar-powered GPS collar for livestock, a backpack with floating suspension, an inflatable helipad, and a unicycle that hits 50 miles per hour. We're living in an era where the most incredible inventions aren't sitting in museums, they're on store shelves or in final testing phases, quietly transforming everyday life with ideas that used to only exist in science fiction. Modern orthodontists can now monitor their patients' treatment remotely using portable devices connected to a phone with a built-in intraoral camera. The specialist can track progress without the patient needing frequent office visits. It's like having an orthodontist permanently in your pocket, making treatment more convenient for patients and more efficient for professionals. A backpack with a floating suspension system significantly cuts down the pressure on your shoulders and spine while walking. The weight you're carrying moves somewhat independently from your body, making every step feel lighter. It's perfect for hikers, students, or anyone who carries heavy loads daily and wants to protect their back from long-term wear. The Capstone Smart Mirror does way more than just reflect your image. While you're getting ready for the day, you can check the weather, read the news, or scroll social media. It's controlled entirely by gestures, no touching required, and you can even sync it to your calendar or get alerts. It turns your bathroom into a personal control center every single morning. The Goliath tigerfish is one of the most fearsome river predators on Earth, living in the waters of the Congo. It can grow up to 4.5 feet long and has massive, razor-sharp teeth powered by incredibly strong muscles. It preys on other large fish and, occasionally, unsuspecting mammals that get too close to the river it dominates. In some parts of the world, people actually race on the backs of ostriches, those speedy birds that can run up to 43 miles per hour. The sport mixes speed with spectacle, because on top of the raw pace, riders have to keep the animal from getting distracted or spooked mid-race. In certain countries, it's become a beloved tradition and a major tourist event. The capstone smart mirror, the mattress that adjusts its own firmness, the kettle that reads your pulse, and the mirror that shows you the weather while you do your hair are all signs that the smart home is no longer science fiction. Technology has moved into the bedroom and the bathroom. There's an inflatable electric bike called Poimo that fits inside a backpack. In just 1 minute, it unfolds and inflates into a fully functional bike. Picture getting off the subway, pulling it out, and pedaling straight to your destination with no parking search and no space wasted at home. It's the perfect solution for city dwellers who want to move around sustainably and conveniently. A zebra named Tira is one of a kind because instead of the classic stripes, her whole body is covered in spots. This natural rarity comes from melanism, which is basically the opposite of albinism. In her case, the skin builds up extra dark pigment, resulting in a spotted pattern completely unheard of in any other known zebra. A cat named Midas took over social media worldwide thanks to one wild feature. She has 4 ears. This gorgeous Russian blue was rescued in Turkey and has been living under loving care ever since. Her one-of-a-kind look turned her into a viral celebrity and one of the most recognizable pets on platforms around the globe. A doctor in Lagos created the world's largest drawing. A zebra in Turkey has spots instead of stripes. A cat in Turkey has 4 ears. A 400-year-old bonsai survived an atomic bomb. Reality has an endless capacity to surprise us with things no fiction writer would even dare invent for sounding way too far-fetched. The 18th century automaton known as the writer, capable of handwriting like a human using 6,000 mechanical parts, is the direct ancestor of today's robots. Sophia from Hanson Robotics understands sarcasm. Nadia trains boxers. Bomb disposal robots climb stairs. 4 centuries of human engineering to finally build machines that do everything we used to do ourselves. The Atacama giant in Chile is so massive it can only be fully appreciated from the air. It stretches 390 feet long and was traced with stones across a hillside. It's considered the largest anthropomorphic geoglyph in the world, and one of the most important archaeological monuments in all of South America. Self-healing material systems work through dynamic molecules or internal reactions that trigger automatically the moment structural damage occurs. This technology massively boosts durability and slashes maintenance costs. It's basically artificial skin. It heals itself with 0 human intervention after taking damage. A robot named Maximo installs solar panels twice as fast as any human crew. FarmBot takes care of your garden while you sleep. Robot dogs defuse bombs without putting a single person at risk. Automation has already arrived in the fields, the backyard, and the war zone. What used to take dozens of people now takes 1 machine and a phone app. The sand nativity scene in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria isn't just holiday decoration. It's a work rebuilt every year by sculptor artists from multiple countries who spend weeks bringing detailed scenes to life using nothing but sand. The precision in the figures, faces, and textures is so sharp that many visitors don't believe it's made of sand until they actually touch it. The Slovak Fujara is so hard to play that fewer and fewer people are learning it. Picture trying to hold and blow into an instrument nearly 6.5 feet long while producing a deep, haunting sound that echoes through an entire valley. In the year 2008, UNESCO recognized that this very difficulty was part of its priceless cultural and intangible value to humanity. The Congo's Goliath tigerfish, the ocean sunfish, and feather stars that amputate their own limbs are all reminders that the planet's aquatic ecosystems remain the least explored and most surprising places on Earth. Deep seas and rivers hide creatures that look more like they were dreamed up by a sci-fi illustrator than shaped by natural evolution. There's a sport that combines soccer and volleyball with 0 hand use, played on sand. Players can only control the ball with their feet, chest, or head while trying to get it over a net. Mixing 2 sports that normally rely on hands creates something completely different and incredibly fun to watch from the beach. GPS collars that create invisible fences for livestock aren't just convenient for farmers. They also reduce stress on the animals, who learn their boundaries naturally without the trauma of running into wire fences. They also let farmers shift grazing zones digitally so the land gets time to rest, blending tech with sustainable land management. In Changsha, China, there's a supermarket that sells giant replicas of real food. Burgers the size of a person, fruit as big as houses, massive ice cream sculptures. The original goal was purely commercial, but the outcome turned out better than any marketing plan. People just show up to take photos and share them online, accidentally turning the supermarket into a tourist destination. A futuristic backpack reduces the impact of weight because its suspension system lets the load float slightly separated from your body. That means the weight doesn't push straight down on your spine. It disperses through movement instead. For people walking long distances, the difference between carrying static weight and floating weight can be the difference between finishing strong or ending up with chronic injuries. The four-eared cat, the spotted zebra, and the golden retriever with a unicorn-shaped ear are animals that became famous not for doing anything extraordinary, just for existing exactly as they are. In a world churning out content at industrial speed, sometimes all it takes is being born a little different to capture the attention of millions of people worldwide. The Surgifield portable operating room that fits in a backpack, the earthquake-proof survival capsule, and the bed that turns into a bunker all share the same philosophy. Designed for the worst-case scenario so that when it actually happens, the technology is already there, in place, and working, with no split-second decisions needed under extreme pressure. There are now robots designed specifically to install solar panels, cutting the cost of renewable energy by taking the human factor out of the equation. Add in hydrogen-powered planes, tires that never go flat, and bikes that fold into a backpack, and the future of mobility and energy over the next 20 years is about to look radically different from what we know today. The Euler's disk, the Naruto whirlpools, and Peru's boiling river all share something in common. Their phenomena physics can explain perfectly, but seeing them in person still hits you with the exact same sense of awe, as if they were completely unexplainable. Understanding something intellectually doesn't always take away the emotional punch of witnessing it with your own eyes. Sierra Space is testing inflatable space habitats that simulate the exact conditions astronauts would face on long-duration missions off Earth. From the air they breathe to how waste gets managed, every single aspect of life on board has to function under reduced gravity. The 18th century automaton that could write with a pen, Sophia, the robot who understands sarcasm, Nadia, who trains boxers using virtual reality, and robot dogs that defuse bombs are 4 moments separated by centuries, but united by the same human obsession. Building a machine that does what we do, only better, faster. The jumping spider that sees in ultraviolet, the cactus that lives 300 years, the fish that lays 300 million eggs, and the meteorite that weighs 67 tons without leaving a single crater are the kind of facts any encyclopedia lists without blinking. But say them out loud one after another. The Barkley Marathons has rules so absurd, they seem designed to guarantee nobody ever finishes. There's no official map. The course changes every year. The time limit is 60 hours, and the race director personally decides who gets to enter based on their application letter. Since 1986, out of the thousands who've tried, only 18 have finished. The Maraca Underwater Hotel in the Maldives, Qatar's diamond-studded soap, the $5,400 burger, and the Lego Toyota that cruises at 15 miles per hour are all real objects that exist in this world at the exact same time. Back in the 15th century, Europe gave us Gothic armor, one of the most advanced designs of its time. Here's the twist. It wasn't clunky at all. Warriors could run, ride horses, and even pull off acrobatics while wearing it. On top of that, it was a straight-up status symbol, all sharp lines and elegant finishes that turned heads on the battlefield. Camels have a bizarre trick when they chew. Their cheeks puff up like balloons, roughly the size of a grapefruit. That extra space lets them stash more food in their mouths for long stretches, a huge advantage in the desert where food and water are hard to come by. Just one more way these animals are built to survive extreme conditions. Switzerland's Glacier Express covers about 180 miles of alpine scenery in over 8 hours, passing through 91 tunnels and 291 bridges. With panoramic windows and luxury service, this train ride is considered one of the most beautiful journeys on Earth, all from the comfort of your seat. Iceland's Blue Lagoon is a natural geothermal pool sitting in the middle of a lava field near Reykjavik. Its waters, loaded with silica and sulfur, are famous for their skin-healing properties. The temperature stays between 98 and 102 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, giving you a warm soak even through Iceland's brutal winters. Ever heard of a glowing sea? It happens when bioluminescent marine organisms like plankton light up the moment they're disturbed. This natural glow lights up the water at night and shows up mostly in tropical regions. Beyond being a stunning visual, it's also a survival tool, used to lure prey or fend off predators. The Afghan hound is one of the oldest, most elegant dog breeds on the planet. Here's a wild one. The creator of Pac-Man got his idea from something as simple as a pizza missing a slice. That one incomplete circle sparked the idea for a character who never stops eating. And just like that, one of the most iconic video games in history was born from a random craving. Back in 1986, Apple actually launched its own clothing line, t-shirts, hoodies, and accessories with a distinctly 80s look. Sounds strange for a tech company, right? The fashion venture flopped commercially, but today those pieces are rare collector's items that die-hard fans pay a fortune to own. The Komodo dragon is the largest lizard on Earth, growing up to 10 feet long. Its bite delivers toxins that slowly wear down its prey, making it a brutally efficient hunter. It feasts on deer, wild boar, and other large animals, and can sniff out a meal from miles away thanks to its powerful forked tongue. Chilean engineers came up with a genius anti-theft bike called the Yurka. Its frame can be taken apart and turned into its own lock, meaning a thief would have to destroy the bike just to steal it. Clever, secure, and sleek, this design flips the whole idea of bike theft on its head. Here's something you probably didn't know. Nearly every human being has tiny parasites called Demodex mites living in their eyelashes. Microscopic and invisible to the naked eye, they feed on dead skin cells and oil, and they get busy while you sleep. Totally normal, usually harmless, but in large numbers they can cause irritation or eye problems. The tallest woman in the world, standing over 6'10", has to book 6 airplane seats just to fit on a special platform and travel comfortably. Her extraordinary height forces her to get creative every single day, from getting around town to finding furniture that actually fits. In Bulgaria, a team built a smart trash bin powered by artificial intelligence that sorts waste automatically. Its sensors detect plastic, metal, paper, or organic material and separate it all without any human help. It's a small invention with a big goal: cutting down environmental damage and getting people to think twice about recycling. Colombia's Salt Cathedral of Zipaquirá is an underground church built in the 20th century inside an old salt mine. Every altar and sculpture was carved straight into the salt rock. Considered one of the country's greatest architectural achievements, it's now a world-famous destination blending history, faith, and mining in one unforgettable place. There's an interactive book that takes Alice in Wonderland to a whole new level. Its illustrations are three-dimensional and shift depending on the angle you view them from, making characters and scenes feel like they're coming to life right off the page. Classic literature meets cutting-edge design. In Germany, They installed screens on pedestrian crossing lights that let people play the classic game Pong while they wait. Pedestrians on opposite sides of the street compete against each other in real time, turning a boring wait into a quick burst of fun. England is home to living mazes made of hedges over 6 feet tall. One of the most famous is at Longleat in Wiltshire, built from more than 16,000 interwoven shrubs. Complete with bridges and viewing platforms, it's been a beloved local tradition for decades. In San Diego, the Marine Room restaurant offers a one-of-a-kind experience, dining while ocean waves crash directly against the windows. That triple-layered glass can withstand waves up to 13 feet high. Fine dining meets raw ocean power for one unforgettable night out. In Venezuela, the Potosi Reservoir hides the ruins of a town flooded back in the 80s. When droughts hit and water levels drop, churches, gravestones, and old streets rise back into view. It's become a powerful reminder of how human decisions can reshape both a landscape and its history. Wissen's Insomnia Smart Mirror lets you check your health without leaving the bathroom. It measures your weight, heart rate, and blood pressure, and can even run an EKG to catch irregular heartbeats all in seconds. Technology really is sneaking its way into our everyday routines. In Beijing, 4 humanoid robot teams faced off in a fully autonomous 3-on-3 soccer tournament, controlled entirely by artificial intelligence. No humans involved, just robots running, kicking, and coordinating in real time. A true milestone proving machines can now compete in sports once thought to be exclusively human. One chef sculpted an entire tiger, life-sized, out of pure chocolate. Every stripe, every detail on its face carved with insane precision. It's proof that cooking can be just as much an art form as painting or sculpture, and yes, someone actually got to eat it. A man in Scotland started a soccer league for pigeons. He trains the birds to chase a small ball filled with birdseed, and every Friday, they kick off the match. What started as a quirky hobby has turned into a viral weekly spectacle that's caught the attention of media around the world. Train wheels aren't perfectly round, they're actually slightly cone-shaped. That subtle design distributes weight evenly and reduces wear when the train takes a curve. It's a tiny engineering secret that keeps trains stable and efficient, and most passengers never even notice. There's an implant called Walletmore that gets placed under the skin between your thumb and index finger, letting you make contactless payments with just a wave of your hand. No card, no phone, nothing in your pocket. Straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's already real. Ever seen a sun pillar? It happens when ice crystals suspended in the air reflect sunlight, forming a glowing vertical column that seems to float in the sky. Only visible on freezing, humid days, it's caused by light bending through perfectly aligned hexagonal ice crystals, acting like tiny natural prisms. Being a panda nanny is a real, highly specialized job. These caretakers make sure panda cubs get the right nutrition, track their growth, and give them the affection they need to thrive. Equal parts veterinary science and pure love for animals, it might just be one of the most heartwarming jobs on the planet. A team of inventors built a fully transparent bowling ball with a 360-degree camera hidden inside. That means you can watch the ball's entire journey down the lane, right up to the moment it smashes into the pins, from its own point of view. A group of Minecraft players has spent years building a block-by-block replica of planet Earth. Every continent, mountain range, and city recreated with incredible accuracy. In Belfast, the city where the Titanic was built, there's an entire museum dedicated to its story. Shaped like the ship's bow, the building takes you through every stage, from construction to its final hours. Packed with original artifacts and immersive recreations, it's an experience that hits you both emotionally and intellectually. One of the most powerful parts of Belfast's Titanic Museum is a small pool kept at 28 degrees Fahrenheit, the exact temperature of the ocean the night the ship sank. Most people can only keep their hand in for 6 to 10 seconds. It's a gut-wrenching, physical way to connect with what those passengers actually endured. There's a wild experiment where you can create drawings that float on the surface of water using ink and a very specific technique. The images seem to defy gravity, refusing to sink. It looks like pure magic, but it's rooted in real physics. Support dogs are trained to accompany victims and witnesses through court proceedings. Their presence helps lower stress and anxiety for people testifying in incredibly difficult situations, especially in cases involving abuse or violence, bringing a little humanity into a system that can otherwise feel cold and intimidating. In the year 2025, 3 wolf pups were born carrying genetics from the extinct dire wolf, thanks to gene editing work by the company Colossal Biosciences. The project immediately sparked a heated ethical debate. The real question, are we actually ready to bring back species that vanished from this planet thousands of years ago? There's now a giant drone capable of flying people around with 0 pilot and 0 license required. It works like a fully autonomous air taxi. You get in, pick your destination, and it takes off on its own. Electric, silent, and already being tested in cities around the world, this could completely reshape how we get around. Meet Cassie, a bipedal robot built to walk and move just like a human. Thanks to advanced sensors and control algorithms, it can handle all kinds of uneven surfaces while keeping its balance completely on its own. It's one of the biggest breakthroughs in humanoid robotics yet, opening the door for robots to operate in real, messy, unpredictable environments. One man took vehicle modification to the extreme, cramming an 8,750 horsepower engine into an ordinary school bus. The result looked completely normal on the outside, but delivered performance that was absolutely insane. A project that had engineering enthusiasts everywhere obsessed, proving that limits are really just a matter of imagination and guts. Vitamin B2, also known as riboflavin, creates a jaw-dropping visual effect when mixed with water and hit with ultraviolet light. It produces a fluorescent glow that looks like a shower of glowing meteors. Beyond the spectacle, this vitamin is essential for energy metabolism, and its light reaction is often used in science demonstrations to show how light interacts with matter. In Japan, there's an ATM that buys gold directly from you. Just drop in your piece, the machine analyzes it, weighs it, and transfers the equivalent cash straight to your bank account. No paperwork, no middlemen. Its advanced analysis merged with banking, streamlining a process that used to take forever. Just one more way Japanese automation is modernizing even the most old-school industries. Smartwatches can actually figure out your password or bank PIN just by analyzing your hand movements while you type. AI algorithms track those gestures and translate them into digits with scary accuracy. Without you even realizing it, your own wrist could be leaking your most private information to anyone who knows how to read that data. Chinese characters, known as Hanzi, are logograms representing entire words or ideas. They form the foundation of the oldest writing system on Earth and are used not just in China, but in Japan and Korea too. Each character carries a specific meaning and can be read differently depending on context, making Mandarin one of the most complex languages to learn. Boston Dynamics dancing robots pull off complex choreography with jaw-dropping fluidity. Thanks to artificial intelligence, they learn different dance styles, sync up as a group, and react to music in real time. It's a powerful showcase of how far robotic engineering combined with movement algorithms has come, and every new performance tops the last. The fire blanket firefighters use is a life-saving tool for putting out small fires fast. By smothering the flames, it cuts off the oxygen supply and kills the fire in seconds. Lightweight and easy to use, it's especially handy for kitchen or vehicle fires. A simple, well-designed object that can save lives in everyday emergencies. Mercedes-Benz built a custom wheelchair for a dog with a motor disability. Made from lightweight, durable materials, it's molded perfectly to the animal's body, letting it walk, run, and play with way more freedom. This project proves automotive engineering can improve the lives of pets too, blending technology, precision design, and genuine love for animals. TeamLab Borderless in Tokyo is the world's first digital art museum. Its projections react to visitors, creating fully immersive experiences. Flowers blooming under your feet, fish swimming around you, waterfalls of light constantly shifting color. With no fixed path, every visit is completely different, like stepping into an interactive dream made real. Hideo Kojima's video game Death Stranding was inspired by the Baka Japanese porters who carry up to 400 pounds of supplies up wooden stairways to mountain shelters no vehicle can reach. In the game, players take on that exact role in a post-apocalyptic world, exploring the physical and mental endurance this ancient profession demands in real-life Japan. Some smart vacuums don't just clean your house, they map out every corner and collect data about your home. They log room sizes, furniture types, and visible objects. With that info, certain companies can figure out your income level and habits to target you with ads. What looks like a harmless appliance could actually be a silent spy on wheels. The pink dragon millipede is a subterranean species from Asia, with an unusually vivid pink color for a millipede. When threatened, it releases a strong-smelling chemical to fend off predators. That chemical defense, combined with its striking look, makes it one of the most fascinating examples of adaptation and survival strategy in the animal kingdom. According to evolutionary studies, rabbit tails used to be way longer. Over the centuries, they gradually shrank to adapt to new living conditions. Scientists believe they originally served for visual communication between rabbits or for balance, but over time they became unnecessary and evolved down to the small, compact size we see today. In the year 2015, Russian artist Alexei Sergeyenko built a throne out of $1 million real in cash as a social commentary on power and money. The piece invites viewers to reflect on how much influence money holds over modern society, and it's been displayed in galleries worldwide, sparking wildly different reactions depending on who's looking at it. Before Sony built its own console, it actually worked with Nintendo on a prototype called the Nintendo PlayStation, combining cartridges with a CD reader. The deal fell apart, and almost every unit was destroyed. Only one survived, discovered decades later, and auctioned off for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, it's considered the holy grail for video game collectors. Hand-weaving a rug can take weeks, months, or even years of manual labor. Artisans use traditional techniques to weave threads into detailed patterns that carry culture and history. Every single piece is unique, reflecting its origin and materials. In a world dominated by mass production, these rugs are true works of art with priceless value. There's a whole hidden science behind making lipstick. Waxes, oils, butters, and pigments get melted together into a smooth, glossy paste. Then it's poured into metal molds and polished once it cools. Color scientists actually study which shades will trend next. So every lipstick you own is really the result of chemistry, industrial design, and market research. Artist Vincent Ball takes the art of shadows to a whole new level. Using everyday objects and precisely placed light, he creates shadow compositions that form entire scenes, characters, or landscapes with zero visual connection to the object casting them. His work proves shadows aren't just a natural phenomenon, they're a powerful creative tool packed with untapped visual potential. Seabright chickens are a British breed from the 19th century, famous for their gold or silver feathers edged perfectly in black. They're not raised for eggs or meat, only for their ornamental beauty. They're so elegant and eye-catching they look like jeweled birds, strutting with a natural grace that makes them one of a kind in the poultry world. Mexican artist Octavio Ocampo is internationally known for his surrealist style and stunning visual illusions. His paintings layer images that, when you look closely, reveal hidden faces or scenes within the composition. He blends everyday objects with abstract forms, creating a sense of depth and movement that's influenced countless contemporary artists around the world. Little Art is an artist who creates intricate sculptures using natural leaves as raw material. Through a painstaking process of cutting and carving, he turns each leaf into a visually stunning, highly detailed piece. His work proves that even nature's simplest, most fragile materials can become permanent art in the right hands. Sea turtle releases return newly hatched babies to the ocean under carefully controlled conditions. It happens at night, when it's cooler and predators are less active, to maximize their odds of survival. Organizations and volunteers actively take part in this effort, crucial for protecting a species threatened by habitat destruction and illegal poaching worldwide. Japan's Kawachi Fuji Garden is famous for its jaw-dropping wisteria tunnel that turns into a hanging ceiling of vibrant flowers every spring. Thousands of wisteria vines intertwine their branches, forming a natural canopy that fades from white to deep purple. The spectacle draws thousands of tourists every year, making it one of the most photographed gardens on the planet. Elephant pedicures are a specialized, essential veterinary procedure for their well-being. Since these animals spend most of their lives walking, their feet take a serious beating. Vets trim and clean their nails, checking each foot for deformities or infections. This care is especially critical for elephants living in captivity or in zoos and conservation centers. The lighting project for the Hilton Hotel's facade, known as Sun Hotel, was designed and built by Rollitz. This system turns the building into a work of art after dark, with lights that shift and create striking visual effects. More than just illumination, it transforms the facade into a spectacle blending technology and design to beautify the city and grab everyone's attention. The Christ of the Abyss is a bronze statue sitting 56 feet underwater in the sea off Italy since 1954. It was placed there as a symbol of peace and a tribute to divers who lost their lives. Over time, coral and algae have covered it, giving it an even more sacred, mysterious look. Today, it's one of the most visited underwater monuments in the world. There are backpacks with built-in LED screens that display animated expressions in real time. Controlled through a mobile app, they let you customize the eyes, colors, or display personal messages. Some even react automatically to music or body movement. It's tech, fashion, and fun all in one accessory, perfect for standing out on the street or on social media without losing practicality. There's a vending machine that instantly chills your drink, dropping the temperature of cans and bottles in just seconds. Its compact design makes it perfect for offices, gyms, or public events where people need cold drinks fast without the wait. An innovation that completely transforms the drinking experience with speed, convenience, and the most advanced cooling tech available today. In Dubai, there are dumbbells that weigh 330 pounds each and are coated in pure gold. Made for a luxury gym, they function more as decoration than actual training equipment. Only a handful of people have even attempted to lift them, and almost nobody succeeds. In Dubai, apparently, even physical effort needs $1 million price tag and a gold finish. Back in 1962, gym class at some schools included 34 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, rope climbing, and non-stop running. Fail to hit those numbers, and you failed the class. It was all about extreme endurance, basically military-style training. Today, demanding that level of fitness from the average student would be completely unthinkable at any normal school. Kevin Perry is a stop-motion master with over 15 years of experience. His videos show objects transforming, bodies vanishing, and movements that shouldn't be possible, all without a single digital effect. Just patience, creativity, and hundreds of frame-by-frame photographs. He also shares his techniques publicly. Adam Doherty creates hyper-realistic cartoon character figures using silicone. His attention to detail is so extreme that he captures textures, expressions, and features that create a fascinating mix of charming and unsettling. Each figure takes weeks of meticulous work, blending art, technique, and patience to turn childhood cartoons into sculptures that amaze. Some artists create fully detailed human portraits using nothing but Lego pieces. Color by color, brick by brick, they plan every section with millimeter precision to capture a face's expression and depth. The wildest part? No paint involved at all. Just assembled bricks forming a modern mosaic, elevating a childhood toy to gallery-worthy contemporary art. The McMurtry Spearling is an electric car that can literally drive upside down. Its turbines generate over 4,400 pounds of suction force, letting the vehicle stick to any surface, including the ceiling. It's one of the most extreme vehicles ever built, completely shattering what we thought was possible in automotive design and applied physics. To map the Liwa Desert in the United Arab Emirates, Google used camels. They mounted a 360-degree camera on one and captured footage of landscapes no regular vehicle could ever reach. It was an eco-friendly solution, respectful of local culture, and perfectly suited to the terrain. Proof that the best tech solutions sometimes come from the most traditional, local methods. There's a smart robot dog that follows its owner around, responds to commands, and runs on a rechargeable battery. It's just a toy, but it mimics real movement with impressive accuracy, barking, walking, wagging its tail with real expression. It's built for people who want animal companionship without the responsibilities of a real pet, like daily walks, constant shedding, or vet visits. A digital pet with its own personality. Back in 2004, Chanel dropped the most expensive commercial ever made, starring Nicole Kidman and directed by Baz Luhrmann. It was a stunning blend of film and fashion, packed with dazzling costumes and high-impact visuals. Chanel poured millions into making sure every single detail was perfect, turning this ad into a luxury marketing icon that changed the game forever. In November of 2024, Tyrway Barbecue launched a completely cube-shaped burger with a totally unique geometric structure. It came loaded with cheddar cheese, smoked bacon, and cube-shaped buns, defying everything we know about a traditional burger. A combination so visual and so innovative, it went viral on social media, proving food can play with geometry and industrial design too. The caterpillar known as the snake mimic has an incredible defense trick. When it feels threatened, it puffs up its head and mimics the movements of a venomous snake. This clever disguise fools predators and scares them off. It lives in the jungles of Central and South America, and after its larval stage, it transforms into a completely harmless, unassuming nocturnal moth. Artist Marcos Medel creates immersive experiences where legendary masterpieces of art history come to life. Viewers can literally step inside the painting and feel like part of it. He turns passive art appreciation into an active, sensory experience, completely redefining the relationship between viewer and artwork in the 21st century through tech and creativity combined. One artist creates hair sculptures that seem technically impossible. Her most famous piece is a replica of the Eiffel Tower, made entirely out of human hair. Unsettling to some, mesmerizing to others, this creation is above all a feat of patience and extreme artistic precision. It proves that any material, no matter how unusual or unexpected, can become art with enough determination and skill. A group of consumers sued Red Bull for failing to deliver on its slogan, Promising Wings. The company settled for $13 million in compensation for misleading advertising. In the end, nobody flew. This bizarre legal case proved that advertising creativity has legal limits when consumers decide to take it literally, becoming one of the most talked about cases in marketing history. Some artists carve watermelons like marble, creating sculptures so detailed they look museum-worthy. With nothing but a knife and a whole lot of patience, they turn an ordinary fruit into edible art capable of depicting landscapes, portraits, or intricate figures. A mix of manual skill and creativity that leaves anyone who sees the final result completely stunned by these fleeting masterpieces. Swedish artist Alexander Unger, known as Goldies, has mastered the art of stop motion. His most popular character is Trickster, the claymation figure, an adorable clay puppet eternally doomed to comedic failure. In every animation, he attempts something simple and always ends up in lovable chaos. His stories deliver warmth and humor without a single word, proving creativity alone can tell the whole story. MRI machines are unbelievably powerful. Their magnets can yank metal objects with incredible force. A ring, a pair of scissors, even a metal chair can become a deadly projectile the moment it enters the room. That's why every piece of metal has to come off before you go inside. There have even been documented cases of oxygen tanks getting violently pulled into the scanner, causing serious hospital accidents. Think regular potato chips are wild? Some flavors go way beyond that. You can actually find chips flavored like horse meat, puffer fish, or even maggot cheese. As strange as it sounds, they're real, and fans of extreme foods actively seek them out. They're definitely not for every stomach or, depending on the country, every food regulation. What if your sneaker could make a phone call? Someone actually turned a running shoe into a fully working phone and showed it off on television. It looked like a joke, but it could make real calls. It's proof that technology can hide in the most unexpected places, even inside an ordinary pair of sneakers no one would ever suspect. One asteroid had the entire world paying attention. Apophis measures about 1,200 feet across. It was discovered in the year 2004, and scientists initially feared it could strike Earth in the year 2029. Later studies showed the odds of an impact were extremely low. Astronomers still keep a close eye on it, but today Apophis isn't considered a major threat anytime soon. This library looks like it's floating on water. In the Chinese city of Tianjin, mirrored materials reflect bookshelves and lights to create the illusion of an endless lake filled with books. The building has become an architectural icon, blending nature, technology, and reading culture into one unforgettable space. Your teeth are more complicated than they look. The outer layer is enamel, the hardest substance in the human body. Beneath it is dentin, which is softer and packed with microscopic tubes that carry sensations. At the center is the pulp, filled with nerves and blood vessels that keep the tooth alive. This might be the most extreme form of mountain biking. Downhill riders race at incredible speeds down steep trails packed with rocks, roots, and natural jumps. It demands elite bike control, razor-sharp reflexes, and nerves of steel. Every run pushes human limits and delivers an incredible spectacle. Tiny enough to fit in your palm, these portable photo printers connect to your phone through Bluetooth and print pictures in seconds. They're perfect for travelers and photography lovers who want real copies of their favorite memories anytime, anywhere. Small, simple, and surprisingly fun. A little girl from South Carolina was born with a white streak right down the middle of her hair. Here's the twist: her mother and grandmother have it too. It's called poliosis, a genetic condition that causes a loss of pigment in specific areas of the hair or skin. It may look like something from a movie, but it's completely real. This futuristic Mercedes doesn't even have a steering wheel. Inspired by the movie Avatar, it's controlled through hand gestures. Its body was designed to breathe as if it were covered in living scales, creating an appearance straight out of Pandora. It's a bold mix of advanced technology and organic design that reimagines what a car can be. What if fruit grew into perfect shapes? Farmers can place young fruit inside rigid molds while it's still growing. As it develops, it takes on shapes like hearts, stars, or even skulls. The result is a collection of eye-catching fruits that blend creativity with nature. Some appliances were built to last forever. An electric toaster made in the 1920s still works like it's brand new. Its classic design and durable materials are proof of meticulous engineering from an era when products were built to survive for decades. Nearly a century later, it still stands as a reminder that true quality outlasts time. Computer mice have gotten a serious upgrade. Modern ergonomic designs include vertical mice, ring mice, trackballs, and even joystick-shaped models. They may look unusual, but they're built to match the natural position of your hand and reduce fatigue. They can even help prevent carpal tunnel syndrome and other repetitive strain injuries. This military test is brutal. Recruits are exposed to pepper spray to evaluate their emotional control under extreme stress. Even while their eyes, skin, and airways burn intensely, they have to stay calm and think clearly. It's designed to prepare soldiers for the pressure of real combat. Believe it or not, there's a world championship for Microsoft Excel. Competitors race to solve complex business problems using spreadsheets with incredible speed and precision. The event showcases elite data skills and proves that even everyday office software can become the stage for intense competition. Meet one of Germany's biggest insect enthusiasts. Adrian Kosakvik raises giant beetles, praying mantises, and enormous moths, sharing the entire process on his channel. His passion has introduced thousands of people to the fascinating world of entomology in a fun and approachable way. Dubai has something you definitely can't spend. Artists create pure 24-karat gold banknotes inspired by the city's culture and architecture. They're not legal currency, but collectors prize them as works of art that reflect Dubai's luxury and identity. Imagine walking into a store where there isn't a single employee. In Tokyo, an artificial intelligence-powered shop lets customers simply walk in, grab what they need, and leave. No scanning. No checkout. The system automatically tracks every purchase and charges the customer. It's a glimpse of the future that's already happening today. These swimming goggles take inspiration from sunglasses. They improve comfort and style while also offering better underwater visibility. When swimmers surface, they help shield their eyes from the sun too. It's proof that sports gear doesn't have to choose between performance and good looks. Jolene is an alligator with an incredible story. He was rescued after losing his upper jaw and now lives in captivity because he couldn't survive in the wild. Thanks to dedicated rescue organizations, he enjoys a peaceful life and has even become a small celebrity at his sanctuary. Imagine seeing your stats without looking at a watch. The Smart Swim 2 uses augmented reality to display distance, speed, and heart rate directly in front of a swimmer's eyes. It's about 15% smaller than the previous model, making training even more efficient and immersive. This tiny gadget makes instant ramen smarter. It holds the lid shut while the noodles cook for more even results. Then it changes color when your ramen is ready, so there's no need to watch the clock. A simple idea that makes a classic meal even easier. Artists have relied on this trick for centuries. The average human body is considered to be about 8 head lengths tall. Measure your own head, multiply that length by 8, and you'll get the approximate height of a fully grown adult. It's a timeless guideline used to create realistic human proportions. Ever wonder how car badges are placed so perfectly? Automakers use precision guides and templates to position every logo and model name with exact accuracy. It's a small detail that helps create the polished look every brand is known for. This beehive is made out of Lego bricks, and it's completely real. Bees use it as a functioning home, building honeycomb cells, storing honey, and raising their colony just as they would in nature. They fly in and out without any trouble, adapting perfectly to their colorful plastic home. Your phone screen hides an incredible secret. Under a microscope, what looks like smooth glass is actually made of thousands of tiny red, green, and blue subpixels. Together, they form beautiful geometric patterns that look like digital artwork. Every image you see is built from those microscopic pieces. This wedding literally took love to new heights. A couple got married on a platform suspended about 400 feet in the air by a crane. The bride, groom, officiant, and guests were all floating above the ground. Everything was safely secured, but the adrenaline made it unforgettable. Your mattress might become your personal sleep coach. The Aid Sleep Smart Mattress tracks your heart rate, breathing, and movement while you sleep. It also controls the temperature on each side of the bed independently, perfect for couples with different preferences. It can even wake you gently using vibrations or gradual temperature changes controlled through an app. This bridge is made from nothing but coins. A child carefully stacked them one by one to build a structure about 20 inches long that can actually support weight without collapsing. It's a simple but impressive demonstration of balance, engineering, and creativity using everyday objects. Would you try ketchup ice cream? Heinz released ketchup and mayonnaise-flavored ice cream in the United Kingdom as a special campaign for Ice Cream Month. Many people thought it was a prank, but the products were completely real and sold in select stores. Only the bravest taste buds accepted the challenge. This bicycle looks like something out of an action movie. Extreme cyclist Sam Pilgrim replaced its wheels with spinning circular saw blades. As the bike moves, it appears to slice through the ground. Totally impractical, but undeniably unforgettable. This cafe looks like a hand-drawn cartoon. In New York, the walls, furniture, food, and decorations are all designed in black and white to make visitors feel like they've stepped inside a comic book. It's one of the city's most photographed attractions, where reality and illustration blur together. These LED headlights give cars actual eyes. They can blink, move, react to music, and even respond to nearby vehicles. It's like giving your car its own personality. Some drivers love them, while others prefer a cleaner, more classic look. Even a sink can look futuristic. A new minimalist design removes visible faucets entirely and uses innovative materials with intuitive controls. Already in production, it proves that even the most ordinary household objects can be completely reinvented through creative engineering. Some rugs are almost too beautiful to step on. They feature detailed artwork from television shows, video games, and movies, making them prized collector's items for dedicated fans. Which raises the big question: should they stay on the floor or belong on the wall like works of art? One teacher refused to let a lack of computers stop his students. In Ghana, he taught Microsoft Word by drawing the entire interface on a chalkboard. His dedication went viral online, and people around the world donated computers to his school. It's a powerful reminder that great teaching doesn't depend on expensive equipment. Bodybuilders don't just train their muscles, they tan them too. Before competitions, they apply spray tans to darken their skin, making muscle definition stand out under bright stage lights. The darker tone also hides imperfections and creates a more even appearance. It's standard practice at both amateur and professional events. Some temples in India cook enormous meals using nothing but sunlight. Massive mirrors concentrate solar energy to generate extremely high temperatures, allowing food to be prepared without gas or electricity. It's an environmentally friendly solution that combines ancient traditions with modern technology. Imagine touching a hologram with your bare hands. Scientists in Spain have developed technology that uses ultrasound and motion sensors to create pressure in the air, letting people feel virtual buttons and invisible surfaces without gloves or handheld devices. It's a major step toward the future of augmented reality, virtual medicine, and human-machine interaction in the 21st century. Porsche built an electric mountain bike for the toughest trails. The Porsche EBY Cross features a full suspension carbon frame and a Shimano EP8 motor, delivering outstanding power, stability, and performance. It's Porsche's vision of sustainable mobility without sacrificing high-end engineering. These printers turn coffee into art. Using edible ink, they scan an image and reproduce it pixel by pixel on the foam of coffee or hot chocolate. The result can be a portrait, a logo, or any custom design you can imagine. Picture sipping your morning coffee while your pet's face stares back at you from the foam. What if donating money felt more real? In some cities, interactive donation displays show animations when you swipe your card, visually demonstrating how your contribution helps, like slicing bread, and sharing it with families in need. It transforms an abstract donation into an emotional, tangible experience. This animator gives birds human arms. Arlemp takes videos of real birds and perfectly synchronizes animated human arms onto them. Suddenly, they're doing push-ups, dancing, waving, and gesturing like tiny people. The effect is so convincing, it's impossible not to laugh, and it's earned millions of views online. These cakes became an internet sensation. Across parts of Asia, bakers created dark chocolate cakes decorated to look like adorable dogs. Their realistic appearance made them explode across social media, with many people buying them just to take photos instead of eating them. Sometimes presentation really is everything. That's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to Zarpado, and turn on notifications. Share this with someone who'd love these facts. They'll thank you for it. See you in the next one.